everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Catherine. I got mine for the Xbox 360, however you can also get it for the PS3. So let's talk a little bit about Catherine. Catherine is a puzzle game with a big love drama triangle at the center of it. Basically, you play as a man named Vincent, who's a 32-year-old man who's very content at where he is in his life. He has a decent paying job, he doesn't have too much responsibility, and he's been dating a girl named Catherine, with a K, for about 5 years now. Catherine, with a K, wants to get serious with Vincent and wants to get married and start a family. However, one night, Vincent, without any memory of what went on, wakes up next to a woman who is younger, in her 20s, blonde, and her name is Catherine, but with a C. Throughout the game, Vincent has to go and deal with which woman he wants to be with, and you have to make relationship choices that will gear you to go either in one direction or into another. And while this goes on, every night you have to do puzzles within the dreams that Vincent has. Now, these puzzles are the struggle from his immaturity to adulthood, and him making the final decision on whom he really wants to be with. There's some, I guess you would say, fantasy aspects to the story, which I won't go into, but for the most part, that is the game. It's a puzzle game with some relationship choices that you can make in that drama in the center. Now, throughout this game, you get choices with questions you get asked or text messages you get, and those choices will veer off in which direction you are going to be, more chaotic or more lawful. And neither of them are bad choices. They actually more or less reflect who you are as a person when it comes down to relationships, if you answer them honestly. There's a possible of 8 endings, which I believe is Catherine true, Catherine good, Catherine bad, Catherine with a C true, Catherine with a C good, Catherine with a C bad, freedom true, and freedom good. Something along that lines. And really, depending on what questions you do, you will go into one of those directions. Based on the questions that I got Catherine with a K true ending, which is that you stay with your girlfriend and she forgives you and you guys get married, and it's the more lawful choice. And like I said, it really comes down to, do you enjoy freedom in your life and feel the rush of everything that goes on around you, or do you like stability and order in your life? And those are really, it comes down to the choices with relationships. There's obviously the gray area in between, but it's best to either go which way if you can. I mean, if you're answering the questions honestly, sometimes you'll get another ending. But that's the basic concept of Catherine. Let's talk about the overall gameplay. The bread and butter of this game is basically the puzzle games, which, as Vincent, you basically try to climb this long tower of blocks, and you have to move certain blocks in place so that you can continue the progression. There's different kind of blocks. There's monster blocks. There's bomb blocks, is blocks that springboard you up, and while you also have to do this is other people who are suffering through the same dreams that Vincent are, and they turn out to be sheep, and you have to avoid these sheep. In addition to that, at the end of each big level or chapter or night, you have to face a aspect of Vincent's psyche. For example, you could be fighting a demon version of one of your girlfriends, or at another time, to represent your infidelity, you could be fighting a giant ass with a tongue and an eye and eyes. I know it sounds weird. Or to show that you're concerned about being a parent, a baby attacks you that's all freaky and has a chainsaw for an eye. I know. You gotta play it to actually truly see, but all the bosses represent a different aspect of Vincent's psyche and what he's going on here. So we can just actually jump into whether or not you should get it, and on a whole, how does it stack up? Catherine as a game is what I like to call a gem. It's a fun game, it's entertaining, it's enjoyable, but it's no way in shape or form a revolutionary game or a game that pushes the limits to anything. It's a great puzzle game, and I like puzzle games. They make you think and they make you stay on your toes. You have to be quick reflexes, and you have to be decisive and adaptive. And that's what I like about puzzle games. And it's a good puzzle game. It's also a good relationship game. Granted, it has many Japanese melodramatic, overly emotional, angsty elements to it, but depending on what ending you get, it can actually be a really good story. Like I said, I got the Catherine was a K true ending where you stay with your girlfriend and that you marry her. And actually, how it played out was in a very nice way, where Vincent comes to realize a lot of self doubt he has in him, but he also realized what's important to him. It sounds kind of cheesy and cliche, but it actually works out pretty well. So if you're looking for either a puzzle game or a game that you can, one of those relationship games, Catherine is a good choice for either or subject or category. It's a fun game, and you can get it for a pretty decent price now. I got mine for $39.99, which for an Xbox game is actually really, really good. Uh, Fun game. The only complaint I can ever say about it is a very quick game. Granted, there's a lot of levels in these. Most of the levels will take you between 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Some of them, I mean, only the last ones may take a little bit longer. And despite how many levels they are, you can go through this game in less than 5 hours. If you grind it, you can go through this game really, really quickly. But I do recommend this to people that like puzzle games or like the relationship games. It's a good game, and apparently they're releasing a novel of it. That means one of the endings have to be true. But I enjoyed this. I don't know if it's a game that I would pick up and play twice, but it's a game that I don't mind adding to my collection. So, again, good recommendation. I give it a solid 7.5 to 8 out of 10 stars, somewhere around that area. Let's be generous. I'll give it an 8 because I did enjoy myself all the way through this. It was just a fairly easy game, which a lot of people say it's a hard game, that they have trouble with it. I don't know, maybe I'm better at puzzle games, or maybe I'm just used to puzzle games, but I found it to be actually a pretty easy game. So I guess the difficulty curves will change depending on the person. But yes, Catherine, pick it up. It is a fun game. It is enjoyable. Pick it up while you can find it because it's actually kind of hard to find for the Xbox version. I don't know about the PS3. I've seen a few more of those around, but it might be one of those games that can be kind of hard to find after a while. So get it. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.